Om Sang Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Ram reached to the shore of the ocean, and Bibhishan came from Lanka. He was kicked out of the kingdom of the ego. The ego said, I don't need discrimination. You go wander in the forest with those hermits. You go stay with those sadhus. I don't want anyone in my kingdom of the ego who doesn't agree with me. Discrimination went to join the forces of consciousness. And they sat down upon the shore of the sea, and Ram asked discrimination, Bibhishan. He said, Bibhishan, how can we cross the sea? How can we cross this ocean of worldliness to find my pure nature? And discrimination replied, ask the ocean. Ram sat down at the edge of the ocean and meditated. And the ocean appeared and said, build a bridge. Now, Ravan, the king of the ego, the king of the kingdom of the ego, Ravan sent his spies to see what was happening. And they came back and they gave this report to Ravan. Ravan, your brother discrimination wasn't crushed like a weevil. He was actually anointed as a king. And he is treated with the highest respect. And they are taking his counsel on how to defeat the kingdom of the ego and how to occupy the kingdom of the ego. And they are not a bunch of wandering monkeys and bears. They are not powerless. They are huge, gigantic monkeys and bears. Some of them are roaring and boasting of their desire to consume all of the kingdom of ego. And all the monkeys and bears are natural warriors. And they are led by the Lord of consciousness. Oh, ego, we got trouble. They can defeat millions of gods of death in battle. And we left off at the 55th Doha. And it's Doha number 55. Please recite along with us. Ram tej palabudi vipulagi say sakasa satasaka hinagagi sakasura ek soshi satasagar tavabrata ki puje gunayanagar tasu bachan suni sagar apaking magata panta kripa manamaking sunata bachana biyasa dasasisa jonasiyati sahaya kritakisa sahajabiru kora Bachandirai Sagar Sankani Machalai Mura Mishaka Karasi Baragi Mripubala Budi Takame Pai Sachiva Sabita Vibhishana Jake Bijoy Vibhuti Kahanja Gatake Sunikala Bachanatuta Risadbari Samaya Bichari Patrika Kare Ramanudini Yakapati Nata Pichagi Jada Barbie Pichati Biasi Bamba Karabdini Ravana Sachiva Boli Shatalaga Bachavana Bantana Manakiri Jagi Shaka Janikala Gas Kulakis Rama Birodana Ubarasi Sarana Vishnu Ajakis Kita Jaman Anuja Ibam Prabhupada Pankaja Bring Hoki Kirama Sarana Lakalam Kula Sahita Patanga Siyabora Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavanasuta Karupana Ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai Sunata Sabaya Pana Mukmusakagi Kahata Sananda Sabaking Sundagi Bumi Parakara Kahata Akasa Laguta Pasakara Paga Pilasa Kahasukanata Satya Sabapani Samujagudari Prakriti Abhimani Sunakubachana Mama Pariori Krodha Nataram Sanataja Viroda Ati Komala Raghubir Subaku Jadapa Akila Loka Koraraku Milata Kripatu Magpara Prabhu Karihi Ura Aparadana Ekudaraki Janaka Sutara Gunata Ki DJ Etanakaha Mora Prabhu Ki Jai Jabate Inkaha Dina Boydeki Charana Prakara Kina Shatateki Nagi Charana Siruchala Sotahan Kripa Sinduraganayaka Jahan Kori Panamu Nijakata Sunai Rama Kripa Mapanigati Pai Rishi Agastiki Sapo Babani Rakshasa Boyu Rakamuni Kyani Bandi Rama Padapara Kimbara Muni Nija Asram Kakupagadara Binaya Tamana Tajadi Jara Gaye Tini Dina Piti Bole Rama Sakopa Tab Boya Bino Hoi Napriti Siyamora Ram Chandra Ki Jai Pada Sutta Karupana Ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai Lakshmana Pani Sarasana Anu Soshom Paridevi Sika Krisanu Shatsana Vinaya Kotila Bada Priti Saja Kripana Sana Sundara Niti Mamata Pratana Gyana Kahani Atilo Bisana Berita Dikani Krodi Samakami Karikata Usar Bijabaye Palajata Aska Kiragupati Chapa Charava Yahamata Lachamana Kimana Pava Sandanya Prabhu Visika Karala Udi Udadi Ura Antara Jwala Makarakuraga Jashagana Akalani Jarata Jantu Jalanidi Jabajani Kanakata Borimani Ganakana Viprarubaya Tajimana Kateri Pagi Kadari Parihi Koti Jatana Koi Sinch Binayanda Mana Kagesa Sunu Dateki Paginavani Siyamora Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavana Sutta Karupana Ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai Sabai Sindhu Kaki Pada Prabhu Kere Shama Kunak Saba Avaguna Mere Gagana Samira Anala Jala Dharani Inaka Nata Sahaja Jara Karani Tava Prerita Maya Pajay Srishti Etu Sabhagranta Nikaye Prabhu Aya Sujeti Karandasa Ahi Sota Egin Bhakti Rake Sukalahi Prabhu Balakini Bhakti Kadini Marajada Puni Tumari Dikini Dola Kapor and Childra Pasanari Sakalatana Ke Adhikari Prabhupatapa Me Jab Sukai Uttariti Katakuda Mora Parai Prabhu Agya Apila Sruti Gai Karam Sobegi Jo Tumi Soai Sunata Binita Bachana Ati Kaha Kripala Musukai Jai Biti Uttare Kapika Taku Tatso Kaku Upai Siyamara Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavana Sutta Karupana Ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai Nata Nila and Nala Kapido Pai Larikai Rishi Asisa Pai Tineke Paras Kiengiri Pare Taraha Kin Kaldi Pratap Tumhari Me Pune Uradari Prabhu Prabhutai Kariu Bala Anumana Sahi Ekibidinat Payodi Badaya Jaya Kasuja Salokati Hungaya Ekisara Mama Kutara Tatapasi Atahunata Kalanara Karasi Suni Kripala Sagara Manapira Turadim Hori Ramaranadira Tekiram Chalaporo Shabari Harashipayoni Dibayu Sukari Sakalacharita Kaki Prabhu Kisanava Charandapandi Pato Disadaba. Remember the chant. Nichapabanagabaneku Sindusri Raghupatiki Yakamatabayu Yakacharita Koli Malakara Jatamati Dasa Tulasidasa Sukapabana Samsaya Sampana Dabana Pishada Raghupati Gunagana Tajisakala Asa Barosa Gavaking Sunaki Santata Shakramana Sunaki Santata Shakramana Sunaki Santata Shakramana Sakalam Sumangala Dayaka Raghunayaka Gunagana Sadara Sunaki Tetariya Baba Sindhu Bina Jalajan Siyavara Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavana Sutta Karumana Ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai Iti Sri Ramacharita Se Sakala Koli Kalusha Vidwansane Panchamo Sopan Samaptaha Sundar Kanda Samaptaha. Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Siyavara Ramachandra Ki Jai Pavana Sutta Hanumana Ki Jai Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Namaste. Jai Ram Ji Ki. Let's go back to the 55th Doha, number 55. All the bears and monkeys are natural warriors, the spy is telling to the ego. And at their head is the Lord of Consciousness. Oh, ego! They can defeat millions of gods of death in battle. The courage, strength, intelligence of consciousness, hundreds and thousands of the ultimate, the Sheshnag, the snake upon which Vishnu rests, cannot describe. Hundreds and thousands of Sheshas can't describe the glory of consciousness. With one arrow, he could dry up thousands of oceans. But in order to protect ethical behavior, he asked your brother of a way to cross the ocean. And hearing your brother's words, he sat beside the ocean to ask for the grace to show him a path. O ocean of samsara, samsar samudra, O sagar, O ocean of objects and relationships, O Mahamaya. O Maya, show me the way to be free from Maya. How do I cross this ocean of Maya to find the pure nature of consciousness, to cross the ocean of illusion, to unite consciousness with my nature? Hearing these words, the one with 10 heads laughed loudly. Because he has such intelligence as this, he is worthy to be helped by monkeys. He exclaimed in derision. At the advice of my cowardly brother, he is consistently demanding the impossible like a stubborn child. So Ravan is saying that Ram is a beggar. He's made begging his way of life. That's why he's got a cowardly advisor like discrimination. It says, beg from the ocean. And the ocean is going to give to him the impossible. The ocean doesn't listen to prayers. The ocean just makes waves. Like a stubborn child, he's asking the impossible. Why are you proclaiming his false greatness? Enough! I've heard enough from you spies. What kind of spies are you? Whose team are you on anyway? I have understood this enemy's strength and intelligence, who has a cowardly advisor like discrimination. How can he have victory or sovereignty in this world? Who needs discrimination anyway? I'm the ego. Everyone will listen to me. Hearing these words from ego, it was difficult for the spy to conceal his anger. Understanding it to be the appropriate time, he took out the message from brother Determination and said, your brother, the younger brother of consciousness, has sent this message. Please control your anger and have it read. Taking the letter in his left hand, which is the greatest sign of disrespect. Remember, the right hand we use for all acts of divinity, and the left hand is for all the personal acts of hygiene. And so, taking the letter in his left hand with the greatest disdain, Ego laughed, and calling one of minister, had him read what the fool had said. Hey, you fool! While you are appeasing your mind with flattering words, do not destroy your family. In opposition to consciousness, not even creative consciousness, the consciousness which pervades all, nor the consciousness of infinite goodness, Brahma, Vishnu, nor Shiva will be able to help you. Leaving your egotism, come like your younger brother and surrender like a bee to the lotus feet of the Lord, or perish along with your family like a moth in the fire of the arrows of consciousness. So you have two choices. You can be like the bee and take refuge in the lotus feet of consciousness, or you can be like a moth and be consumed in the fire of battle. Hearing the contents of the message, the one with 10 heads became afraid. But outside he showed a smile and said, just like someone standing on the earth with outstretched hands trying to grasp the sky, this younger ascetic is shouting to the winds. No worry. No worry. Talkative one, the spy, said, and he's talking to Ravan, the ego. He said, oh Lord, please leave your egotism and understand that the words of this message are true. Please leave your anger and listen to my words. Oh Lord, renounce this enmity with consciousness. The hero of light is extremely gentle, even though he is the king of all the worlds. Meeting him, he will certainly bestow his grace upon you and will not hold you guilty of any offense. Return to him the daughter of the cause. Please, just do this much for me. That's the spy, the head of the espionage section of Ravan's kingdom. When the spy mentioned his request to return the daughter of the one without a body, Videhi, that's Sita, then the evil king, the evil ego, kicked the fool with his foot, just like he did to Bibhishan, just like he kicked discrimination. He also bowed his head to the ego's feet and departed to where the ocean of grace, the leader of light, was situated. So the spy, when he was kicked, the head of espionage, he bowed down to the ego and he departed. And he also joined Ram's army. He bowed with respect to Ram and told his story, and with the grace of consciousness, he became a sadhu in order to attain his supreme goal. And Shiva said, Shiva's telling to Parvati, "O Divine Mother, he had been a wise knower of divinity, but because of the curse of Rishi Agastya, he was turned into a demon. And now, being kicked out of the family of the demons by the ego, he was turned into a sadhu again." Again and again, the sadhu bowed to the feet of consciousness, and then he went away to return to his own ashram. So then the sadhu, he bowed down to Ram, took his blessing, and returned to his own ashram to continue performing his tapasya. Now remember that Joya and Bijoya were standing at the gates to Vaikuntha when the four brothers, the four Kumars, came to visit Vishnu. And Joya and Bijoya said, "The Lord is in his inner apartments with the goddess Lakshmi, and we've been placed here to ensure his privacy." And the four Kumars, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar, Sananda, and that's only three. Sanak, thank you, was the fourth. The four brothers said, "Look, we are pure devotees of the Lord, and no one has the right, no one has the authority to keep a devotee away from God. And because you've barred the path, we're going to curse you. We allow you to choose the curse. You can have 7 births as rishis, or you can have 3 births as demons." And Joya and Bijoya said, "This is horrible. We don't want to go down and take birth. We're here in Vaikuntha. We're in the heaven with the Lord. Why do we want to go get in a human body and go through all that stuff? Oh, well, if we have to go, we'll take 3 births as demons so we get it over with quicker, rather than take 7 births as sadhus." So remember, their first birth was as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, who were returned to heaven by the incarnation of Vishnu, came as the boar who destroyed and defeated Hiranyaksha, and as the man-lion Narsingh, who destroyed and defeated Hiranyakashipu and saved his son Prahlad, who was the great devotee. In their second incarnation, Joya and Bijoya became Madhu and Koitaba. I'm sorry, their first incarnation was Madhu Koitaba. Their second incarnation was Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And as Madhu and Koitaba, too much and too little, Brahma called upon the Divine Mother to wake up Vishnu, and Vishnu destroyed them. In their third incarnation, they took on the bodies of Ravan and Kumbhakar. And Ravan became the great ego, and he wouldn't listen to reason for anything. He was determined to be slain by the incarnation of Vishnu so he could go back to heaven. So the spy pleaded with him, his brother pleaded with him, his wife pleaded with him, respect pleaded with him. Everyone begged Ravan, the ego, give up this enmity with consciousness. But he wouldn't give up. Here, 3 days had passed, but the inert ocean did not heed to humility. So Ram sat there 3 days and 3 nights, not eating or drinking, only reciting the mantras of Maya. Then consciousness proclaimed with anger, without fear, love cannot manifest. So wherever there's love, there's an attachment. And wherever there's attachment, there's a fear of losing the object of attachment. So if you don't have any fear, you don't have attachment. And if you don't have any attachment, how can there be love? So without fear, love cannot manifest. Brother determination, bring my bow and arrows. I shall dry up this ocean with an arrow of fire. That was his proclamation. Humility before a fool, love before the cunning, generous instruction before a miser, words of wisdom before a man bound by attachment, describing non-attachment before the greedy, talk of peace before an angry person, and the word of God before one filled with desire, are as inappropriate as sowing seeds in barren land without fruit. Go ahead, talk all you want. But someone who is determined, and they will listen to what they want to hear, just as the case of Ravan. He wouldn't listen to anyone who had any other idea other than how to ensure the victory of the ego. Now Ram is saying, this ocean, I'm praying to you with humility and you're not heeding me. When he said that, the Lord of Light raised his bow. Brother Determination was extremely pleased with this course of action because Lakshman thought that Ram had no need to beg in the first place. Lakshman said, hey, you're the Lord of all. Everybody must obey. You put the arrow in the bow right now, and let's settle this matter. And Ram said, no, it's appropriate to pray. It's appropriate to demonstrate our respect and appreciate whatever guidance we get. The Lord mounted the fearful arrow of fire in his bow, causing a burning fire in the heart of the ocean. He just mounted it in the bow and pointed it at the ocean, and the ocean began to shake. Alligators, snakes, and fish and other ocean animals became severely distressed. This is about the end of us. When the animals of the ocean began to burn, the Lord of the ocean left his pride and assumed the form of a twice-born learned man, like a Brahman, bearing a golden platter filled with gems and jewels. So the ocean of objects and relations, all of Maya, brought forth the gems and jewels of Maya. All the wisdom and non-attachment, all the beautiful things, that the ocean contains. The respected crow, Bushundi, said, now remember, the crow is telling the story to Garud, the king of the birds, just as Shiva is telling the story to Parvati, just as Tulasidasa is telling the story to us. Oh, Guruji, king of the birds, listen. No matter how much water you give to a banana plant, it will not bear fruit until it is cut. And that's very true of bananas. You can pour as much water, they grow in tropical environments, and they have lots of water. But until you don't cut the plant, it won't sprout new shoots. So it will not bear fruit until it is cut. The lowly do not heed to requests humbly offered. They only respond when threatened. Sorry. Ocean was filled with fear, and he grasped the feet of the Lord. Please forgive me for all of my faults. Lord, ether, wind, fire, water, earth are all by nature inert. They have no activity of their own. From your inspiration, Maya has given birth to these elements so that creation can take place. So it is said in all of the scriptures. Now, in whatever way the Lord has proclaimed, living in that way brings peace to an individual. The Lord has done well to give me this teaching, but you are also responsible for setting the boundaries of appropriate conduct. So here, five elements of creation, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, are all inert. We don't have any capacity to respond. You're praying to me to do a specific action, to teach you how to cross the ocean. That's not my job. That's not my nature. My job is to be wet. My nature is to provide a home for the alligators and snakes and fish. My job is to make everything wet and allow them to find their own way across the ocean. A drum, a cow, a low-class person, an animal, and a woman are all authorized to make noise. By the prowess of the Lord, I will certainly dry up, and your army can march over my sands, but the definition of my function in creation will no longer remain. So you have defined my function in creation as being wet, not as giving knowledge. You've defined me as the ocean of objects and relations, the totality of all the possibilities of evolution. You didn't tell me that my job is to part the sea so that we can cross. But no one can disobey your orders if that is what you choose. So if you want to redefine my function in creation, go ahead. Just tell me what I'm supposed to do. But you already told me from the beginning of creation that my job is to be wet. And you see, I'm all washed up. I'm all wet. Now, whatever you think is appropriate, that is what I shall do. Hearing the sound reasoning of the ocean's words, the giver of grace smiled and said, "Oh, dear one, tell us by which way the monkey army can cross." Okay, you got to tell me the secret. How do we cross this ocean of sansar? The ocean said, "Oh, Lord, who is like a blue flame, the son of fire, and who shines like a star, the son of Vishwakarma, are two brothers of the monkey army. So Nila and Nala, Kapidovai, Larikai Mun Rishi, Ashi Shapai, they received a blessing in their childhood from a rishi. By your prowess, whatever they touch, even huge mountains, will float on top of the water." So when Nala and Nila were two boys, youngsters, they were extremely mischievous. And the rishis were meditating on the banks of the river, and the boys took all of their belongings and threw them in the water. And the rishi got mad. He said, "Wait, I can't swim out there and get all my stuff. And it's sinking down there, and it's floating downstream. I'm giving you guys a blessing. The blessing is whatever you throw in the water is going to float. It won't sink. No, then I'll be able to retrieve everything you steal from me and throw in the water." That was the blessing they got. Now, keeping your lordship in my heart, I too, now this is the ocean talking to Ram, he says, "I'm remembering that you are the Lord, and you are the Lord of my heart, and I too will help so far as I am able. And this way you will make a bridge, and the three worlds will sing the saga of your glory." And they made a bridge. "With this arrow, you please destroy the evil beings that reside on my northern shores." So Ram says, "Okay, now I've mounted this arrow. Where do I shoot it? Now that you told me the secret, I don't want to dry you up. You're going to support the bridge. Nala and Nila are going to throw everything in. And then, what do I do with this arrow? And the ocean said, in the north, in the area of Rajasthan, there are a collection of evil beings. It's actually the area of Pakistan, along the Afghanistan border. He said, shoot the arrow over there. And Ram did so and turned that entire area into a desert. So, with this arrow, destroy the evil beings that reside on the northern shores. And the Lord listened to the agony in the mind of the ocean, and he immediately fired his arrow to destroy the evildoers. Seeing the strength and valor of consciousness, Ocean was extremely delighted. He told the Lord the entire story of those evil beings, and bowing to the Lord's feet of the Lord, he departed. And he went back under the water and became one with the ocean again. He left his form as a Brahman, and he came back and joined and merged with the ocean of objects and relationships. The ocean returned to his own home, while the Lord of Light accepted his opinion. And this episode removes the sins from the age of darkness, the Kali Yuga, and that is why Tulasidasa has sung it according to his knowledge. The Lord of Light is the repository of all qualities which lead to happiness, the destroyer of all doubts, and the remover of all sorrow. O foolish mind, leave all the vain hopes and false desires of this world of objects and relationships, and always sing and listen to the word of God. The song of the qualities of the leader of light is always beautiful and bestows all welfare. Who will listen to this with respectful attention will cross this ocean of world without any other spiritual discipline. And thus ends the fifth part of the respected Ramcharitmanas, which destroys all of the darkness of the age of darkness. Thus ends the Sundar Kanda. Om. Wow. So Ram built the bridge, and Nala and Nila sat at the edge of where they got to with the bridge, and all the other monkeys went into the forest. The bears and monkeys brought forth rocks and trees and mountains and everything they could carry, and they handed it to Hanuman. And Hanuman wrote Ram, and then handed it to Nala. And Nala and Nila said the name of Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, and placed the rock and the trees into the ocean, and they floated. And the ocean himself held up the bridge. And I just a few days ago saw a satellite photograph, and you can see the bridge is still there. If you look at the southern tip of India, you see the bridge from Rameshwaram to Lanka, and it's still connecting. You can see where Nala and Nila's engineering skills placed all of those rocks as a means for the entire army to cross. Well, the Sundar Kanda after is followed by the Lanka Kanda. And the Lanka Kanda is the story of the battle. Do we have any questions?
Swami, since you told us the story of Jaya and Vijaya,
yes.
It seems like Ravan, even with all the good counsel, he just was not listening because he had to reach God's feet. But what he was doing was not conscious. He did not consciously know, if I do this, God will take me to his feet again.
No, he did not. But somewhere unconsciously, it was his sanskara. It was his tendency. He manifested in the demon body, even though he was a devotee of Ram, of Vishnu. He manifested in a demon body, and he had to enact the karma that he performed. It was his destiny. Daivya, Daivya. Alsti Pukara. It was his fate. He had to manifest that type of behavior. Please.
Someone has a question from Kumari from Radiator.
Namaste, Kumari Ma.
Is kingdom of ego all mind? Is there a point where ego becomes spiritualized? Is mind all bad or both good and bad? How should we understand mind more positively? Can Swamiji comment?
Kumari Mom, the kingdom of the ego is both good and bad. It's really neither. You remember in the Antakaran, there are 4 specific tattvas. The inner cause, we call it mon, which is all subjective thought. All the adjectives and adverbs of experience. Buddhi is objective thought. All the nouns and verbs of experience. If I say this is a book, that is buddhi. It's a fact. If I say this is a good book, it's true. But it is both objective knowledge and subjective knowledge. The adjective is mon and the noun is buddhi. Now, both of them together make up chitta, all the recollections of consciousness. And as soon as there's mon, buddhi in the chitta, there is ahamkar, the ego. So the ego is comprised of both objective thought and subjective thought. Now, good and bad are both coming in subjective thought, because those are determinations of opinion according to my point of view, where I sit at any point in time. To some people, we are doing a good thing, and to other people, we are doing an evil thing. So it is according to their perception or their opinions, whether it's good or bad. But the ego, it becomes more and more divine as it rises and expands. Actually, our objective is not to get rid of the ego. Our objective is to expand the ego and to become the greatest egotist. Shiva Aham. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Shiva. I am God. I am the supreme consciousness. If we expand the identity of our ego until it becomes divine ego, then we are no longer encumbered by this little false ego which becomes an egotist. I did a good job, I'm great, I'm bad, I'm good, I'm bad, I am. I am. So, Kumari Ma, the ego itself is neither good nor bad. It is the reflector upon what we put in the mind. If the mind is filled with pure thoughts, then the ego is the witness of purity. If the mind is filled with selfishness, then the ego becomes the reflector of selfishness.
A question from Nanda from San Jose.
Namaste, Nandama.
On page 138, it says, if thou before the cunning will not help.
No, it does not.
So, Nanda wants to know, Swamiji, if you can please explain how does a sadhak transact with cunning people? To
the extent that it's possible, we avoid them. If we know that someone is cunning for selfish ends, we try to avoid a transaction with that individual. And if we cannot avoid the transaction with that individual, a sadhu will be loving but equally cunning. They have to be clever with the clever. And even Chanakya said, Purabraj, the king of the Purab Desh, he was a very cunning man, always out for his own selfish interest. He said, we can't have a world without such individuals. It's impossible for us to expel all of the cunning people from this world. We have to enlist them into our program and enroll them into our program and show them how that they can improve their own situation by working together with us. But we must always maintain vigilance. So that's a very good instruction for us all. We will require to interact with cunning people and with selfish individuals. But we try to the greatest extent to be vigilant and to watch out. Because we know they have a cunning nature. We will try to watch for any breach of the decorum.
Question from Michael from Colorado.
Namaste, Michael. Namaste, Karen.
Michael says, it seems to me that the ocean has the capacity to fulfill all desires, and it makes no distinction as to what is good or bad. If we want something, the ocean simply responds to us. We put the good or bad label on what is manifested. Is this a correct interpretation?
Namaste, Michael. Yes, it is a correct interpretation. Good and bad, positive and negative, all the opposites reside in the mind, in the judgment, in the values of the perceiver. So, all of us looking at various events will judge them according to our own inclination and our own desires. It's good for me, or it's bad for me. Because good and bad are always relative to the person who's making the judgment. Yes, the ocean has all capacities. And he gives what is appropriate for the individuals in the circumstances in which they find themselves.
Swamiji, is it true? Usually when we hear of chanting of the Ramayana, we hear the Sundar Kanda is most popular.
It is most popular. And there are various reasons for it being most popular. First of all, it's a beautiful chapter. And it's filled with loving devotion. It's also very short and manageable. It's something, the Balakan takes 10 hours to recite. Ayodhyakan takes 12 hours to recite. So it is. You can sing the Uttarakhanda, the last chapter, in about 5 hours. It takes only the Kishkindakan is the shortest one, and that takes only 45. Well, you could do it in 20 minutes if you're fast. So that's too short. But the Sundar Kanda is a beautiful expression of the nature of pure devotion. And so it has become customary to excerpt this chapter from the entire Ramayana in order to celebrate Rama. Just as we are so habituated to reciting the Bhagavad Gita as compared with the entire Mahabharata. We recite, it takes a month to recite the 100,000 verses of Mahabharata. But it takes only a few hours to recite the Bhagavad Gita. And the Bhagavad Gita has distilled the cream of all the philosophy and much of the story into just 700 verses. Whereas, in like manner, the Sundar Kanda has the cream of the story. The whole allegory is contained within, and it's beautiful to chant, and we can do it in 2 hours. Or 1 hour. or 45 minutes.
And Swamiji, we pray to Goddess Lakshmi to get right our goals, to Goddess Saraswati for learning. From Sundar Kanda, are we to learn that we pray to Lord Hanuman to get pure devotion?
Yes, Hanuman to get devotion, Ram to get consciousness, Sita to get purity and clarity and a sense of commitment, Lakshman to get firm determination, Bharat to become shining with the light of wisdom, Vibhishan to get discrimination. All of these characters, this whole story is going on within us every day. So yes, that is the way of our prayer. That's what we pray for.
There's a question from Ruchi from Lily.
Namaste, Ruchi Ma.
Sometimes negativity surrounds us and we act selfishly. Later we might regret. Is there a way to negate the effect of karma we thus created?
Yes, there is. Sing the name of Ram. Ruchi, let me tell you just a brief story about the king who went to the sadhu's ashram. The sadhu was out in the forest meditating, and the sadhu's young son Rishi Kumar came to greet the king. "Oh, king, what can I do for you?" The king replied, "I need to speak to the Rishi." The Rishi Kumar said, "My father is meditating in the forest. I am raised in the lineage of this hermitage. Maybe I can answer your question." The king said, "Oh, Rishi Kumar, I am the king. I'm the commander of my armed forces, and my armies have gone to battle so many times. We have plundered, pillaged, murdered, slaughtered, and committed so many heinous crimes in our lives. What can I do to be free from all of the sin that I've committed?" And then Rishi Kumar said, "Oh, king, that's very easily rectified. Please go home and recite the name of Ram twice." And the king said, "You mean I can say Ram, Ram 2 times and I'll be free from all sin?" And the Rishi said, "Yes." And the king was delighted. He bowed down to the Rishi Kumar and he went back to his kingdom. That evening, the father came home and he said, "Son, were there any visitors today?" And the son said, "Yes, father, there was a king that came." "Well, what did he want?" He said, as the commander-in-chief of his army, he had plundered and pillaged and massacred and created many heinous crimes he had committed, and he wanted to know what to do to be free from all the sin. "Well, what did you tell him?" "I told him to go home and say the name of Ram twice." "What kind of son are you? You could have told him to say it once." "Ruchi, say the name of Ram." "And you will be free from all of the confusion, all the conflict, all the karma that accrues from making the wrong decision at that time. Sing the name of God." And that's just how our chapter ends. It just says, the song of the qualities. Who will listen to this? This is the song, the Lord of Light, is the repository of all qualities which lead to happiness, the destroyer of all doubts, the remover of all sorrow. O foolish mind, leave all the vain hopes and false desires of this world of objects and relationships, and always sing and listen to the word of God. Jai Ramji. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.